Hey y'all, this is Marla K. Hope y'all are well. Got an interesting story for you from Fox News. It was published on today. It says Representative Gates seeks to end testing military personnel for marijuana with bill amendment. The proposed amendment would abolish cannabis testing at both the time of enlistment and an officer's commission. And I find this interesting and sad. It's an indictment on our society that they have made drugs legal, and so many people are addicted to marijuana that they cannot stop smoking it long enough to keep a job, to pass a drug test. Sobriety is going out of the window, which y'all know we supposed to be sober. We ain't supposed to be around here intoxicated and high and using drugs as a means to cope with life. That's the most highest job. So, even in that regard, the nation has gone to hell in a handbasket, and it's impacting military recruitment. Um, the bottom line is, so many young people are addicted to drugs. Although I know people are like, "Oh, marijuana is natural," la la la. Anywho, um, it might be a plant. It may be able to be used for medicinal purposes, but it has been turned into something for recreational use to keep folks intoxicated and unable to be productive. And so a lot of companies, test for drugs. So if you turn up positive, you can't get a job or you'll lose your job. Well, for the military, it's imperative that you be um, not intoxicated when you are controlling weapons, because a lot of times when people are intoxicated with substances, they can't control their emotions, or they can't work, they're tired, they're sleepy or under the influence, or that mentally maybe they're not sharp. And I know, people gonna have arguments because they do it, and just like with any sin, folks gonna argue for the stuff that they like or they engage in or that touches them or it's personal for them. I'm not arguing for it. I've never smoked marijuana, so I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't like how it smells. I don't see how people smoke it, personally. But to each his or her own. But I wouldn't want to serve in the military with somebody who is intoxicated with something that could impair their judgment when they see me, or if I got to be in battle with somebody and they getting high. I don't want to be in the field with them and they accidentally shoot me or do something stupid that I got to be answering for. And you think about this generation of young people, they already ain't all that sharp, when it comes to common sense and following instructions. You add technology into that and them not really having to think critically. And then you add in substance abuse and depression and all these other things. Man, we in trouble. That's what I got to tell you. We in trouble. Um, and the bottom line is the military cannot recruit good quality candidates because too many people are high. Now, the other thing is this: if they have a draft and y'all think y'all gonna be out here smoking drugs and that's gonna be a way for you not to be accepted, they clearing the way for y'all to go into the military. Drugs is gonna be one less thing they're gonna have to worry about when you go in. So for y'all who don't smoke nothing but weed, guess what? Y'all men folk, y'all gonna be drafted. That's what's getting ready to happen. They are setting the stage for the bar to be lowered so that when they need their voluntary military recruits, they're gonna be able to get them, and weed is not going to be a disqualification anymore. So with that said, y'all know what type of quality candidates we getting ready to get. Y'all see these weed heads walking around here. Just it's getting ready to be wild times. It's gonna be a problem. But so many people smoke weed now that it's normalized, and so you got to lower the standard in order to recruit people for this World War III that's coming up. So let me get into this story because this just don't make no sense to me. A proposed amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act would abolish testing military personnel for cannabis at time of enlistment or commission. So that even means when you're in the military and you're getting ready to be promoted to be an officer, then they can't test you. So you can smoke basically and nothing happens. It's crazy to me. The proposed amendment, a prohibition of cannabis testing for enlistment or commission in certain armed forces, was introduced by Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican of Florida. Now notice he ain't served nowhere, no place, but here he is proposing rules to lower the limits or the qualifications to enlist. And he ain't gonna enlist. He don't have no children that's gonna enlist. Um, you gonna go fight a war for him, and he gonna make it easier for our children to get killed. That's the way I interpret what his move is. Our military is facing a recruitment and retainment crisis. See, I told you. Unlike any other time in American history, Gates said of the amendment on social media Wednesday. I do not believe that prior use of cannabis should exclude Americans from enlisting in the armed forces. So he said prior use. Prior use usually doesn't exclude you. What excludes you is you can't stop using to get in. Most people can't dry out. He added, we should embrace them for stepping up to serve our country. The proposed amendment would end cannabis testing for members of the military both at the time of enlistment and when receiving commission as an officer. The Secretary of the Military Department concerned may not require an individual to submit to a test for cannabis as a condition of enlistment of such individual as a member or the commission of such individual as an officer of an armed force, the proposed amendment reads. So they got a copy of the amendment. The military has long held uniquely strict regulations on the use of marijuana by its servicemen. Last year, Paw pardoned thousands of Americans who faced federal marijuana possession charges, but not members of the military. Biden's move did not only apply to Uniform Code of Military Justice offenses, meaning service members charged under military law for similar crimes were not eligible for the same benefit. And that's it. So, the crux of this is what they said. They got to recruit. The military is facing a recruitment and retainment crisis, unlike any other time in American history. That is an indictment on our society. That is a sign of a failed state. You can't even get sober people to join the military. People are so unable to cope with reality. They need vices to cope. If they can't cope with life before the military, how you think you're gonna throw them into the military and send them off to combat or put them under tough conditions and they're going to cope? They're gonna smoke more. So one, it's a sign of the times when it comes to our culture. Our culture is debauchery now. It's debased. Our young people are high. Parents allow it. They've made drugs legal in most states. So you can just go to a dispensary and get it. People smoke all day, smoke all night. Um, it's just insane to me that they passed all these laws and made this stuff normal and then didn't think this was going to be a problem. But it is a part of the plan to gradually numb all these people before they scoop them up and dispose of them. Um, this is like saying, I'm going to scoop the stew at the bottom of the trash can because I can't get no better. People who are sane and don't use drugs wise enough to know that's not a career choice that they want to make. And people who would like to go but can't because mentally they are incapable of coping. They don't have impulse control because they can't stop smoking weed to go into the military to enlist, and they can't stop smoking once they get in to stay in. So eventually, they get a random drug test, they get kicked out for being under the influence or having this substance that's banned by the military in their systems. They can't recruit people because people can't get high. Like I know people here in this little town where I go. I ain't recommending nobody going to the military, and my stance been that for 4 or 5 years. Well, for a long time, even before then. When I had my own kids in school, military wasn't no option for them because I saw where things were going. But I do come from a military family, and when people have their heads on right, and ain't nothing going on in the world, it's a great opportunity for people to see the world, to get benefits for school, especially if you're poor. But now it's not the time to be sending nobody nowhere because these folks getting ready to light this earth up. Um, but there are so many people who just they can't function in life without being intoxicated. So, it's just another indicator or metric to demonstrate how bad a shape this country is in. This country is in terrible shape. We don't even have a military that can recruit people who can keep the home front safe. So, take it for what it's worth. You take it for what it's worth. To those people who have served honorably, was discharged honorably, took the oath seriously, did not do what they didn't have no business doing. You use devices they allowed y'all to use, alcohol, cigarettes, but not this other stuff. And, now we got a generation or two generations of people can't function without being high. It is an indictment on the culture. It is one of the reasons we are a failed empire in a dying state. And it is going to be ugly watching us fall because we have people here who cannot even qualify to get into the military. And no, if you're sitting around getting high and smoking, you ain't exercising, you're not fit, you can't run, you can't pass a PT test, you can't lift nothing, your eyes probably bad, you can't see. Um, you probably got other health issues. Your lungs probably not good because you ruined them smoking so much. So it's just insane to me that young people are in such bad shape that they can't even, the military can't even recruit and maintain a military to protect the home front. So, it's kind of embarrassing. I don't know if other countries have to deal with this, but it's another embarrassment. It's another black eye. How can you be the best in the world? You broadcast into the world. We can't even recruit and keep recruits because our folks like to get high. It's terrible. So, anywho, this is a data point to let y'all know how bad things are in this country. They are willing to change the rules to the National Defense Authorization Act. I think that's what the thing is National Defense, the National Defense Authorization Act to abolish testing military personnel for cannabis. So it's an indictment on our culture, and they would rather lower the standards than to have high standards and obey y'all's commandments. We're not supposed to be intoxicated by anything. So, folks who love to say, oh, we're a Christian nation. How can you be a Christian nation when you tolerate people who can't function without drugs in their system? Y'all supposed to be our drug. Y'all are supposed to keep us covered. And he's supposed to be our coping mechanism spiritually. We're not supposed to be intoxicated by anything. So again, how does this even tie into being a Christian nation when you will settle? So this is how you know how far we have fallen as a people and as a nation. So it's sad. I see a lot of young brothers walking around high, smelling. You can smell it. You get in their car, you smell it. It's on their clothes. It's everywhere. Young ladies too, not get dogging the brothers. Young sisters too. They smoke just as much as the men folk do. I ain't never seen nothing like it. You can't go to their house without their house smell like weed. The children come out of the house smell like weed. Cars smell like weed. I know the children go to school smelling like weed. Walk past the bus driver probably get high from contact. Just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But, it's a sign of the times again. So just understand where we are in the collapse. This country is gone to the dogs. And if you think you're going to be protected and you want to say we got the best military in the world, this is proven to you clearly. We have fallen. How far we have fallen. The mighty has fallen. You got to change the rules so people can be high when they enlist. And people can be high on drugs when they are commissioned. And these people are supposed to fight and have weapons and be sharp. I don't know how. I don't even know. But anywho, I'm done with this story. Y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section below. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification if you like content like this so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Please consider following my channel on Rumble and Odyssey. The links are in the description. Also consider following me on social media. Links are also in the description. If you'd like to support this channel, the link is in the description. We don't require support, but we don't have any affiliates, and I don't like advertising nothing to anybody. So I don't like to sell stuff. So if you'd like to support the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Lastly, continue to pray, continue to prep, continue to seek the Most High. Repent for your sins of commission and sins of omission, and cry out so we can be delivered from this putrid place, because it's just every day it's getting worse and worse, and nothing is going to reverse this trend. So we got to buckle up and prepare for what's coming. And we also need to be prepared to be caught up and taken out of this place. I don't know when the Exodus is coming. Maybe an Exodus don't come before the bad begins. We don't know. But in the meantime, let us continue to prep and seek the Most High, so that we will be knowledgeable and what we need to do and how we need to navigate these treacherous times, and keep watch. Don't ever sleep on the job, not during this time. You could have been asleep 10 years ago, but not now. This is not a time to sleep. So understand what this means for us, Yasharel, and let us get ourselves and our households and our family members cleaned up, because things are coming down the pipe, and a lot of our people are not prepared. So we should not be intoxicated with spirits and pharmakia. Let us be intoxicated with the spirit of the Most High so that we can make sound decisions and navigate what's coming. All right, y'all, this is Marla K, and I'm out.